fighting up here don't really mean unless you're going to fight here now.
I don't think that Jake would have enough time, seeing as he's already undersized. He's not a real heavyweight, and this is Anthony fucking Joshua we're talking about.
Take a punch, really. If he takes a big punch from Jake Paul, if he gets hurt in any way by Jake Paul, if he doesn't absolutely ice Jake Paul within a few rounds of this 8-round scheduled bout, well then it really affects his credibility.
Anthony Joshua didn't just step into this Jake Paul circus. He walked in like a man clocking in for a real job, while everyone else showed up wearing clown shoes. Because according to AJ, nothing about this is scripted, staged, or sanitized for Netflix views. And that alone is the first slap in the face to anyone who thought this was WWE with punching.
Walks out of 150 million quid. No one will remember the fact he fought Jake Paul. They'll remember the fact he knocked Klitschko out in Wembley in 2017.
Totally agree with that.
So I'm kind of, whilst I don't like it, and I don't like the way that Jake Paul gravitates to these brilliant athletes and like a moth sucks the life out of them because he gets the benefit of association, because I think they deserve all the association. But he is a and there was opportunity there, wasn't there?
Listen, commercially, of course it works because it'll be huge and there'll be a load of money on the table. For Anthony Joshua, it's like sort of...
Joshua is out here reminding people that authenticity isn't a costume he puts on for promo shoots. It's the only thing he knows. And when he says every punch thrown is real, he means Jake Paul better write his will with the same confidence he tweets with, because AJ refuses to waste energy acting for cameras. Which is hilarious considering Jake has practically filmed half his life, like he's starring in his own documentary titled Delusion the Sequel.
There is a danger in this fight. The odds are, Joshua's 1-12, obviously. Jake Paul is 6-1, yeah, to win this fight in a 2-horse race in which this is a guy who lost to Tommy Fury, Tyson Fury's brother, in an 8-round fight, who... For me, I wrote that it would damage his legacy a week ago.
And if you think this fight is theater, let's talk 80 pounds million from Netflix money, so big it could convince a retired monk to lace up gloves. And yet Joshua still insists the fight is full. Queensberry rules, 10 Oz gloves, real blood, real sweat, and potentially Jake's real dental reconstruction afterward. The purists may call it a circus, but supporters are screaming back that Joshua has been fighting actual giants his entire career.
Jake Paul, who hasn't fought someone in the top, realistically, the top 50. I know Tommy Fury is ranked in the top 50, but anyone that is a top 50 fighter, even in your weight class, let alone a top 10, top 5 heavyweight in Anthony Joshua, who was a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. Can you get prepared for a guy like that if you brought in, let's just say, a deity, freaking Zeus, Hercules, whoever, to prepare you? Could you do it? I don't think that Jake would have enough time, seeing as he's already undersized. He's not a real heavyweight, and this is Anthony fucking Joshua.
So stepping in with a YouTuber boxer isn't disrespecting boxing, it's charity work with violence. Meanwhile, critics pointing to Joshua's recent losses are pretending he's washed, as if AJ isn't still a 2-time heavyweight champion, with a punch so mean it could turn light bulbs off with a shockwave. And that makes this fight his unofficial comeback narrative, not because Jake is a threat, but because putting him to sleep in front of 200 countries would be the cleanest "I'm still that guy" message ever written. And speaking of numbers, the 140 pounds million purse split evenly is the kind of money that makes grown men reconsider career choices, and absolutely no one is declining that bag. Not even the critics who pretend they wouldn't take a right hand from AJ for a fraction of that. But Jake? Oh, Jake is pounding his chest like King Kong with a camera crew, swearing he'll shock the world.
Compete at the highest level, and I don't think he beat the top 5, top 6 guys. But that in that weight class is where he'd be at, like say 180, 188 or 189, somewhere around there is where he'd probably compete. There's not a lot of talent there though, so he might be pretty good in those weight classes. Him competing in the heavyweight division against like Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua or anybody else, no, he gets annihilated. I'm very surprised he signed this fight.
I was shocked he signed this fight. I texted my buddy Bo, because Bo follows boxing really well, and I texted him. I was like, dude, we might see a death. And he said the same thing. He's like, I cannot believe he agreed to that.
Confidently declaring he will beat Anthony freaking Joshua, which is adorable, in the same way toddlers telling you they're going to drive the car is adorable, cute, delusional, and slightly concerning. Yet analysts keep saying, don't count Jake out, because unpredictability is part of boxing, and fair enough. Jake has shocked people before, but Shocking Ben Askren and shocking Anthony Joshua are two different planets. One is a trampoline park and one is the surface of the sun. Still, the lopsided danger is real. Experts are warning this isn't a size mismatch, it's a species mismatch. With AJ's power being described as this man can unplug your consciousness like a USB. And the concern isn't whether Jake can survive.
I've ring by Mike Coppinger that one's in the works and looking likely for December. What can you tell me?
Yeah, not yet. I mean, there has been conversations, obviously. I think it comes down to how true, they are. Jake Paul is that he actually wants to fight. I mean, he's a madman if he wants to fight. But for some reason, and he thinks he can beat AJ. And I have to be honest, we were going to have a run out in December over 8 rounds against a bloke you've never heard of. And we may end up having a run out against Jake Paul for a career high payday. I don't see how we can turn it down.
When I asked you about it a couple of days ago, you said that at that time you never really got into the financials. Have those been discussed now? Have you discussed the financial element?
Yeah, there has been some conversations around that, and it is, it's a huge amount of money. And
But whether doctors should pre-schedule his post-fight appointments? And honestly, that's the first reasonable take in this whole saga. Eddie Hearn, meanwhile, is laughing all the way to the bank, calling this a strategic business opportunity. Because Joshua's legacy is cemented, the payday is outrageous, the global exposure is insane, and even if people cry sellout, nobody is selling out harder than the fans who will still watch it live while complaining in the comments. Hearn basically said, legacy secured, let's get the bag. And honestly, respect. And at the end of the day, commentators are calling this the perfect modern boxing cocktail: 40% business, 40% entertainment, 20% athleticism, shaken aggressively over social media hype, poured into a money-printing stadium and garnished with Jake Paul's face on a poster looking like he believes destiny is going to stop AJ's right hand. Which is genuinely the funniest part of this entire thing. Because once the bell rings, all the marketing dissolves and only one question remains. Will Jake Paul make it out of round 1, round 2, or will Joshua decide to rewrite?
Some people are saying, AJ's grabbing the bag. There's nothing wrong with that, because anybody else, if they got offered that kind of money, they would do it. So, yep. And some people are suggesting it might damage his legacy. Where do you sit with the decision of him taking that fight? And it's a professional 8-round fight as well.
Yes, it's a highly dangerous fight. For Jake Paul. I don't know what he's doing, unless they have done some sort of caveat or some sort of agreement that he says he's going to go easy on him or he's not going to.
The definition of influencer outreach by punching Wi-Fi out of Jake's career. Whatever happens, this fight might be messy, might be controversial, might be insane, but one thing's guaranteed. It won't be fake. It won't be soft. And it absolutely will be unforgettable, because when the world tunes in to see a heavyweight monster test the durability of a YouTuber's skull, that's not boxing or business or entertainment, that's modern mythology in 10 Oz gloves. And the ending will be written in real time when one man proves whether confidence is power or whether power erases confidence with one clean shot. Outrageous, so unpredictable, so absolutely insane that even the...
It was really close, and then it was Jake and Tank, and now that's off for other reasons. Your initial reaction to the fact that December Miami might be on?
Yeah, jumping from Gervonta Davis all the way up to Anthony Joshua seems absurd. It doesn't seem like it's a reality.
Seems very Jake Paul.
It seems, but...
Experts can't decide whether it's destiny, delusion, or just delicious chaos served on a silver platter. Whether Jake Paul shocks the universe or Anthony Joshua reorders his atoms with a single right hand, one thing is guaranteed. This showdown is going to live rent-free in the boxing world's head for a long, long time. And hey, if Tyson Fury decides to jump in wearing a cape and throwing million-pound bets again, we won't complain. But before you sprint off to argue in the comments section or place your definitely responsible, totally not emotional bets, do me one favor, actually. 4. Smash that like button like AJ smashes heavy bags. Drop a comment telling me who you think is getting slept, shocked, or saved by the bell. Share this video with that one friend who swears Jake Paul is the future of heavyweight boxing. And of course, hit that subscribe button so hard it feels like a Fury uppercut. Because trust me, you won't want to miss what comes next.